Okay, another new one I wanted to do. This is on the futures for the NKD, which is a Nikkei 225, and this has been a real clear chart. I know that the Dow Jones, we do some charting in the Dow Jones and whatnot, but I also like to keep an eye on some of the overseas action because obviously markets are connected whether they like it or not. So this is one that I just have a very simple chart put up, and this is on a weekly right now, so it's a little bit of a longer time frame. But you know, we had this in the Dow Jones. We had a rally that was pretty good, and they had a little bit of a rally here at this 200-day moving average, which held up, which was pretty important. But if you go back 4 weeks, you know, on the Dow Jones, that's when we were, you know, on the downside towards bearish, a little bit closer to bearish territory. So these kind of correlate a little bit. So today, right now, what you're seeing here is we're down a little bit, almost close to 1%, and you could see kind of the area that I'm concerned about here with some signals that I have set up, alerts. If we get below here on this 15, basically almost 15.5, or to the upside here, which puts us above the 50-day moving average, you know, right around 18. So I know it's kind of a little bit of a broad range, but that will help me kind of find out where the momentum for a longer term trading could be. The thing that worries me a little bit right now, and it's not quite as easy and as clear to see on some of the charts for the Dow Jones as the video I just did. There's a little bit, a few different ranges, and the MACD, the RSI, and some of the other ones are a little bit more bullish at this time, and for good reason, because our markets are a little bit better. But like I said, you know, if they have a serious problem and there's some serious collapse in their markets, it's obviously going to play a part in dragging ours, you know, up or down, because like I said, they're all still connected. So just a little bit more information, and on the weekly you can see that since the end of the year, they've been heading into this little bit of a bearish kind of move. It hasn't been super bearish yet, because like I said, the big 200-day moving average is still holding up and everything right now. So we're kind of in this area on a weekly. We're still down right now, so it's still playing out. But the areas that I'm watching obviously are the low here, like I explained, and then above the 50-day moving average to get back into more of a bullish tone. And right now, it continues to be a little bit bearish still, because your MACD is below the zero line, and it's trying to see if it can make a turn here, but not as of yet. Your RSI is above 40, just barely hanging on at 41, and your DMI stochastic is up. So this is trying to hang on to make this turn to a positive side if it can. So it's going to take a little bit to play it out, and we're going to have to see where it is. But these areas, I put them a little bit wider because, like I said, I want to be more in a little bit more of a long-term move, either to the downside or to get nice and bullish later this year to the upside. So I want to see what's going to unfold here. But right now, if I just put up something really super quick, oops, let's see if I can do it here quick. This is so far really quick what we're looking at. And so right now there's like I said, and everything else, this is kind of in the mid-range. There's really no trade, anything. I mean, I'm not trading this, but if you're trading anything correlated to this overseas or anything else, or even trading this as far as the futures or whatever, there's really no trade for me that I would really like to take at this point. Like I said, I would wait to see if it's going to break down here and continue to be bearish, and if it is, that's a great play to the downside. And as far as the upside, you're running into a lot of overhead area here between the two moving averages and the last point here, which is, you know, 17.8-ish. So you'd have to get to get me involved in more of a bullish stance on it. You would definitely have to get above that, hold, and then continue to run to the upside. And then we talk about this this area of 20,000 here. So, but right now, no trade. So just watching this helps a little bit with some of the overnight. And if we go into a daily, just to see where we are, we're already in bearish territory on the daily, and we're trying to make, like I said, everything still holds up valid to what I said, even though we moved into a daily. We're definitely not above the histogram is starting to try to move above the zero line now, but it's running into a little bit of overhead resistance at this point. The moving average, the 50-day moving average on the daily, and so if you can get above this 50-day and hold up, then you got a nice run to the to the 18,000 that we talked about, and to get very bullish on it, it would have to get above it and hold. And this is kind of pattern that we're looking for here, where it could get above the 200-day, test it, hold, and then have a little run to the upside, nice little run. And then obviously the same scenario, but the reverse unfolded here as it got down and then broke below it, and then it had a huge run to the downside, and then just another bounce and then back to the downside. So we're not being able to take any kind of trade off of this at this point, because it's just kind of in no man's land. I don't want to trade between the 2 points of where it should be to pick up some type of trade. So we'll wait and see how that unfolds, but this is also very important. So if you keep an eye on the NKD futures, maybe this will help a little bit for you.